Welcome to EE391 MM391. This is maintenance, reliability, and engineering economics. We are on week 13, lecture number 2. Today is Tuesday, the time is 1 o'clock. Welcome to this afternoon's lecture session. We will continue from wherever we left off. Before we move on, I would like to request you to please enter your student name and ID into the chat box, please. All right, please enter your name and student ID into the chat box. Yes, thank you. We will now. I will now share the screen. All right, I will now share the screen. Um, um, okay. Are you able to see my Microsoft Word document on the screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. So the problem which we were looking at yesterday was we were comparing three lathes, the $100,000 lathe, $150,000 lathe, and basically these three lathes they came from the problem. They came from problem number 6, and we're using a method called incremental internal rate of return, incremental IRR. Now, one of the key steps over here, one of the key steps in this particular method is that you must order the lathes. Okay, so just maybe I'll put a step over here. Step 1 is basically we must order the lathe, order the devices in from cheapest to most expensive, and we then compare against the cheapest. All right, okay, this is a particular step which we have to take. And in this case, can you see we put the $100,000, right, from the cheapest first cost to the most expensive first cost, and then we compare against the cheapest. So lathe number one, which is the cheapest, right, it had a first cost of $100,000. We compared against it, and we found the internal rate of return using interpolation. We found IRR to be 21. We found it to be 21.4%. And we can't really compare lathe 1 against anything else because that's the only thing we have. We can't compare it against anything else because that's the only one which we have. So we then moved on, and we we then looked at lathe we looked at lathe number 2, and in lathe number 2 we compared it against lathe number 1. Can you see how we did a subtraction over here? All right, okay, we compared it against lathe number 1. Now we found that our value comes out to be we found that our value comes out to be um 12.4%. Our IRR for lathe number 2, our IRR for lathe 2, which is basically our I star, is 12.4%. And incremental, right? Our incremental IRR, not just the IRR, it's our incremental IRR. Okay, and our when we talk about lathe number 1, it's not looking at the incremental. We're only looking at just the plain old IRR. Okay, so please note the difference over here. Now, um, okay. Now let's now go and look at lathe number 3. Now in lathe number 3, we were doing some calculations. Let's now complete our calculations. It's lathe number 3. We have to compare against the cheapest. We compare against $100,000. All right. So we always compare against the cheapest. All right. So let's now look at lathe number 3.
All the working was correct, eh? Only some more steps to go, eh? Yeah.
Okay.
Maka, how's it? You know it's not allowed to smoke inside.
Okay. All right.
Like, you know,
Apa Solome?
security company.
All right.
Oh,
Kalas ko pala rin.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's now. I'm going to switch over to my Microsoft Excel. Okay, and this is lathe number 3. Let's do lathe number 3. Lathe 3. Let me just see. Lathe 3. 4.76. Our target was 4.76. Target is 4.76. Okay, our target is 4.76, and our formula, let's look at our formula. Formula is basically this guy here. Okay, there we go. That's our formula. So we have our I over here. Well, your I star, you would call it. Your I star, your possible I star, and we have your target over here. All right. Okay. Now, let's start off with let's say okay, let's start off with 5%, because we really don't know, right? 5 and 6, and by the time we've done 5 and 6, we would have an idea of where we are sitting. So let's do our formula, and I think if we look at it, the formula is the same. Can you see the formulas are the same? So I don't need to really retype the formula. I just copy it from my previous cell. There we go. And is it highlighting? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, look. 5 and 6%. We're still way off, man. We wanted to hit 4.76%. So let's now increase this. Let's now increase it to 10. Let's see where it goes to. Wow, still not yet. Still not yet. Let's now increase this to 15. $4.76, still not yet, guys. Oh, wow. Let's go to 18. Right. So it's somewhere between. Where is it sitting between, guys? It's sitting between 15 and 16%. 4.76. Where would 4.76? Where would 4.76? Oh, sitting between 16 and 17%. Yeah? It's sitting between 16 and 17%. So let's now go ahead and do that. Okay, let's now put that over here. Okay, it makes life so much easier that you're using Excel, right? And that'll be an advantage for you in your final exam. I encourage you guys to, maybe if you want, you can code code all of the formulas and all of this into code it up so that you have all your code ready and you can do your final exam very fast. Okay. There we go. Where is 4.6 sitting? It's sitting somewhere between, where was it? 4.76%. 4.76. 4.76. Where would that arise? Well, we've got a 4.76 at 16.4, and I'll accept it because you've got two decimal places, 4.762 when you round that up, and 4.76211. If we round that up, that's 16.4. So, with much thing, I can confirm that our particular answer is sitting at 16.4%. Our particular answer is sitting at 16.4%. So let's go back to my Microsoft Word. So there will be 16.4%. Now, that's not the end of the story. That is not the end of the story. Now, let us now remember, the question had clearly listed the question had clearly indicated a particular, if you look at it, it had clearly indicated a particular MARR. The MARR is 15%. The MARR was 15%. So let's now look at this one. We don't look at the first lathe because there's nothing to compare against. In fact, the first lathe was already meeting the first requirement. Let's move to lathe 2. Lathe 2 which is greater, 12.4% is what? Is less than MARR of what was our MARR? It was 15%. Therefore, therefore lathe 2 is not even meeting the company's minimum requirement. All right. Okay. Let's now look at lathe 3. Now lathe 3. For lathe number 3, 16.4% is greater than our MARR of 15%. Basically, this means that lathe 3 is meeting minimum company requirements. Is meeting minimum company requirements. All right. Okay. We select. Therefore, we select lathe 3. We select lathe 3, right? Lathe 1 is usually the base model. Usually lathe 1 would be the cheapest model. So we don't normally go for the cheapest solution, but it's not so much about the cheapest solution. It's more so about the fact that we want to go for the option which will give more than the cheapest. All right. So we end up with a situation where we have lathe 3. So remember, in most of these comparison type problems, we have to we have to make a final decision, like lathe number 3. If you look at our earlier problem, in this one here, problem number 6, we had to choose lathe number 3, right? It had the highest present worth. So in terms of present worth analysis, it gave the highest answer. In terms of incremental rate of return, it gave the highest answer as well. Okay, so I want you to take particular note of that in the end you have to give an answer. If you look at problem number 5, in problem number 5 we had to say that purchase device B, all right, purchase device B because it has a positive grade flow, right? You have to give a final answer in these comparison type problems. Okay, guys, we are now almost at the end of our course. Because of the online nature of the course this year, we can't really extend it into next week. So this will be one of the last topics which we teach. I will hold on to external rate of return. I will teach that next week, but there's not much. I won't be giving many examinations on this particular particular topic. Um, the main emphasis now is for you to finish off. So basically, let me just put a thing here and just say end of the examinable part of EE/MM391. We have completed the syllabus. I'm deliberately stopping now. In fact, I would have wanted to go into doing bonds and a lot of other things. There's so many other things which we can look at, but unfortunately, due to this year's nature, a lot of time is wasted if you look at the way we take lectures. I have to type things up, and it takes a long time to put things up on the board and draw. Most of our problems, we would have been covering 2 problems per lecture, right? But for now, we will stop our syllabus with that particular problem being the final problem, and that pretty much is the final topic for EE399, which will come in your final exam. All right. So that is the final topic. So that's good news for you guys. I'm deliberately stopping it now because EE399, MM399, next week Friday, I believe you have your what do you call, if you could mention to me, what do you have next week, guys? Next week Friday, you have your final presentation and demonstration. Yes, you have your final presentation and demonstration. So I don't want to go and creep into that too much. And also you have your short test. Let me just give you some few brief notes about your short test. Your short test will only be 1 hour long. Your short test will only be 1 hour long. And it will cover all the way till problem number 8, not problem number 9. It will cover up till problem number 8. Okay, problem number 8 will be covered, but not problem number 9. Okay, it will cover till problem 8. We will email. Okay, this is the way the exam will be set up. An email will be sent to you individually at about 9:30 to 9:40 on Friday. Right, and we will be sending it to your student email address. So please make sure you have a look at that. Right, and basically inside your email you will have your unique question. Then you follow the instruction. You go to the Moodle shell. You will enter into the quiz. The moment you enter into the quiz, your timer starts. You can then enter your answers inside the quiz. All right, inside the quiz, and you have only one attempt. Let me stop sharing this so that you can see my face. All right, okay. So you will only have one attempt to do your problem. And then within 1 hour your timer will be up. It'll be up, and basically there will be text boxes, and like so. For example, I'm just giving you an example. Let me give you an example of how it will work. So you will receive an email somewhere between 9:30 to 9:45. You'll receive an email inside your student mail. My strongest advice to you is at 10 o'clock, I want you to come and start the test over here, because I'll be logging into Zoom at 10 o'clock sharp. Right? I'll be logging into Zoom, and if you have any questions, you can always pop up on Zoom and ask the questions, right? Even though you can log in and start the test at 9:45 or 9:50, you can do that as well. But remember, the moment you click on the start quiz button, click on the start quiz button, your timer starts. Your timer will only be for 1 hour. Remember, your timer will be for 1 hour. Even though the portal is available, I'm making the portal available all the way till 12. All right. Okay. Why am I emailing you the question? Well, every student will receive the same question, but a slightly different variation of the same question. Okay. Which means, for example, the first student, let's say Anthony, he will receive a question 4 plus 3. The second student, let's say John, he'll receive 4 plus 4. Nishal will receive 5 plus 3. Siddhant will receive 2 plus 6. Right? But the nature of the question will be the same. So basically, everybody might receive a different interest rate. everybody will receive a different interest rate. And what you have to do is when you log into the quiz, so the question paper will appear in your email, right? And your answers, you have to submit your answers in the Moodle in the quiz box. So you have question 1A. What is the what is the future value? So you will enter your future value. Question 1B, what is the present value? You enter your present value in question 1B text box, right? There will be a text box. You've done this exam before. You've done online exam last year. You've done online exam in semester 1 this year. So I know you guys are familiar to this, all right? And the main thing we are trying to prevent is the test is very, very easy. Is very easy. If you have been writing your notes, watching the videos, you'll be finding the test will be a very simple test, and no theory, all calculations. Everything will be calculations. If I ask you any theory, it will be very basic, right? And there will be some comparison type questions. So make sure that you go all the way. And apart from incremental IRR, don't study incremental IRR. That will be coming in your final exam. Okay, the question, Tavake. Anthony, okay, let's first. Anthony is asking, how many questions do we expect? You'll be expecting 2 questions, but each of those questions will have small parts. Like, for example, it will ask you, find future value, find present value, find this part A, part B, part C, part D. Then question 2, part A, part B, part C, part D. So only 2 questions. Enough for you to do in 1 hour. All right? Okay? Yeah. And Tavaki is asking, sir, what does the timer start when we open? No. The timer does not start when you open your email. Your email, that's like for you to give you a head start on doing doing the calculations. But I would like you to do the paper between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Soon after 11, we'll close the portal close to 12. All right. We want everyone to. I'm encouraging and requesting everyone to please start the exam at 10 o'clock. If you want to start earlier, that's fine. Starting earlier is fine, but don't delay it, because then I might not be able to help you. The thing is, I lose the Zoom platform at around about 11, and you can finish the paper in half an hour. All right. One thing I do encourage you to do is go ahead and get all your formulas typed up in MATLAB and ready to go, so that you can just enter your numbers and you can calculate quickly. You don't need to sit down with your calculator, or have your exercise book, have all your problems ready. If you study all the problems I gave you, remember this particular course is just problem after problem after solved problem. If you attempt all the problems I give you, you can score 100 out of 100, no problems. In fact, last year in the final exam, there were students who scored 100 out of 100. There were students who scored, about a handful of students who scored full marks, 100 out of 100, in the engineering economics part. Okay, so yeah, I encourage you to do that. And if you haven't been following the lectures, if you haven't looked at the videos, fine. I wish you all the best, but you won't have time to learn the concepts within the lecture. There's only 1 hour, and there's lots of calculations to be done. And each question will have small parts. All right, and I'll list the marks. Okay, then this is 5 marks, this is 4 marks, this is 3 marks. Any other questions, guys? So just the main thing is, you won't be able to copy your friend's answer. That's the whole idea behind emailing the question, because your email, if you compare emails, you guys can sit down. If you're sitting with each other, you can sit down side by side and compare emails, and your email, the interest rate in your email will be different, and Tavake's email will be different. So if you go and want to copy Tavake, he will get a different answer altogether, right? And sometimes, let's say if there's device A, device B, device C, lathe A, lathe 1, lathe 2, lathe 3, some students will get lathe 1 as the answer to be the best answer. Some students will get lathe 2 to be the best answer. Some students will get lathe 3 to be the best answer, okay? Any questions, guys? If not, then I think we'll knock off for today now. I don't want to waste too much of your time. I want you to also focus on your EE388 and 399 and MM399 because that is next week Friday, and that is one of the reasons I'm finishing off the lectures this week. Next week we will be having lectures on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, but those are lectures which you should attend out of voluntary interest. We'll be covering bonds, we'll be covering external rate of return, we'll be covering mortgages, how mortgages work, and some of these other things which are helpful. But I do know that you have big day coming up next week Friday. All right. Yeah, we will have all of these topics. Any questions, guys? Anyone wants to ask anything? Well, if not, then thank you so much. We will see you on Friday. I'll be on Zoom at 10 o'clock sharp. Please mention to your friends, and please have your student email ready. Make sure your mobile phone has got your data topped up and so forth. All right. Okay then. I wish you all the very best for your studies. If you have any questions, do let me know. Okay. Thank you for attending, and goodbye.